Hello and welcome to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. I'm Joe Youngblood. With me today is Carrie Crozier, who is the supervisor at the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center. Carrie, thanks for being on the show once again today.
Nature calls, Joe. I'm there.
That's right. Now at the Nature Center all year long we have some very nice programs. And we have some events coming up here. Of course, we're still in winter. Before we know it, spring's going to be here. But what do we have coming up over at the Nature Center, Carrie?
Spring's knocking on the door, and usually one of the first signs that spring is not too far off is the maple trees sap start flowing, and you start seeing people tapping trees for maple syrup. We have a maple syrup program that is on March 14th. It's a Saturday. It's a $3 program.
So even in this cold weather, in March, because it's still going to be 35, 40 degrees potentially.
Exactly.
You'll still get some flow out of it?
Especially maple trees, absolutely.
Really?
And the beauty of it is many different types of maple trees produce different types of syrup. Even box elder trees is in the maple family. And a little bit of information that if you come to the program you'll find out is it takes as many as 40 to 50 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup.
40 to 50
40 to 50 gallons, exactly, depending on the sugar content of the sap.
What is it? Just gets condensed down?
They actually have sugar shacks, which is a house that has wood burning boiler type things, and they actually boil down, and keep boiling down till all the water cooks out of it, and you have your syrup.
No kidding.
Rough outline of how it's done. But
yeah. Now, do you have to have multiple trees? If you're,
absolutely.
Even if you're doing this at your house,
yeah.
You're not going to get that much flow.
You're not going to make enough, no.
Yeah.
And at a lot of areas, they still do it old school way where they bore a hole and they put a spile into the tree, and the bucket hangs on there, it runs into the bucket. But if you look at a lot of these newer places, you'll see a plastic spile in the tree, and then you'll see a piece of tubing, and it'll run tree to tree to tree to tree to tree into one catch location. There's all this tubing through the woods,
down here.
Yeah, and it's like tubing everywhere. What the heck is this? Today's technology, a little easier for the farmer.
Now, there's no harm to the tree when this is.
No, not at all, because it actually doesn't go in very far.
Okay.
You're just going into that cambium flow later. You're not going down into the core wood, so no disruptive insects that are borers and bad for the inner part of the tree get in, because it's such a small hole. And these trees, they heal right over quick.
Very good.
Neat process, neat process.
So that, once again, anyone interested in the maple trees syrup?
March 14th?
March 14th. That sounds like a great event. And who's heading that up?
Mr. Farmer, our naturalist, will be doing that program, and he'll have a bunch of different elements. He'll actually go out and they'll tap a tree. And then they'll see, depending on how cold it is, depending how much sap comes out, and then they'll show you the process. You know, it won't be real sap, but they'll show you the boiling down process and the firing in the back, and various activities throughout the building. Examples of old wooden spiles and old syrup containers and things. And it's a good day, fun day for the family.
So this syrup will flow year round?
No.
More of a spring.
It's a springtime tap.
Right.
It's a springtime tap.
Well, good.
You know? That's just one of the signs that spring is on the way. Another sign is our spring secret wildflower walk. And what people don't know is there are certain plants that give off heat. And in March, they start really taking off. I'm going to spill the beans. We're referring to the skunk cabbage.
All right.
It's a broadleaf plant. It's usually in a very soupy, soft area. We have multiple areas of that behind the Nature Center, and it's kind of a neat walk because they have a big, like a tubular gourd piece in the middle. That's the flower pot. It's kind of a neat walk.
It does sound neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Saturday, March 21st.
Okay. And do we have to call ahead to register for these programs?
These are all walk-in programs. You don't have to walk in. There's a $2 fee for the spring wildflower walk.
Can't beat that.
It's cost-effective, Joe. Come on. I mean, it's awful good. The last most important program is our egg setting program. That is on March 29th, Sunday. They will be decorating a bag for to count your Easter eggs. There is a story of the Easter Bunny on the back deck. There is actually a walk through the woods to pick up Easter eggs.
On the trail up top
trail,
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are several different stations inside the multi-purpose room for decorating eggs.
Yeah.
So it's, Easter Bunny will be there. We'll have some bunnies and chickens there, and that's a great day for the family to be. Once again, it's March 29th.
Bring your own hard-boiled eggs for decorating.
Bring your own hard-boiled eggs, exactly, and we decorate them.
That is a wonderful event.
It's a $4 program, but
$4.
even so, I mean, with the candy and the Easter Bunny and
great.
the eggs, and we have games also. They will have pinatas, and they also have some other pinatas, excuse me, and a variety of other games to play also, you know, with this eggs on a spoon, and it's just a packed day full of fun.
It is. I brought my children out to that event, and it is a wonderful event. I mean, just all the different arts and crafts and activities. It's tailored for children. You guys do a great job for that event.
It's tailored for children.
Definitely.
So that's basically our headlining programs that are coming up for the month of March.
Good. Now, Carrie, I do have a question. We're still in the heart of winter right now, and we do get a lot of people fishing, and obviously that's a recreational activity. Stony Creek, a lot of ice fishing going on up there. What is the key? Because if you're in Stony Creek, obviously is a Huron-Clinton Metro Park.
Correct.
But it's right here in Shelby Township. There's certain areas that to this day you can see exposed water.
Absolutely.
And other areas, people are just walking out there and just. What is the best way to make sure you're safe out on the ice?
Well, first off, it's good if you don't know the area. If it is a public waterway like a DNR park or a Metro Park, stop talking to rangers. Okay. They'll tell you where the streams actually come out into the lakes, so you'll know that that's where the thin ice is. And usually during the winter, that's not the best spot to fish anyways. You know, maybe when ice is out with a boat because water's coming in, stuff gets washes in, could be a little better, but it's not good for winter recreation, ice fishing. Another area is Stony Creek, for example, the South Dam, the North Dam. You've got water flowing in. Not typically the best places to fish anyways. You want to find structure, you know, with moderate depth, stumps, weed beds, points, rocky shoals, different elevation changes underneath the water. And you can find them in Stony Creek because there was an old creek channel. And there is, if you find maps and look back, you will find an old creek channel through there. A lot of guys concentrate on those in the summer. They catch walleye out of there. So structure. Structure is the key.
So that was an old creek at one time, and then obviously you have the dams there, so they dam that up to form the lake.
To form the pondment, yes, correct, yeah.
Well, that's a
so
good bit of
fishing in that
there.
lake. I've fished that lake. I've caught catfish and bass and caught pike out of that lake. A lot of different panfish species. It's an awesome lake to fish.
So it's well known for good fishing there.
Oh yes, absolutely. As well as the other recreation that the Metro Park supplies. You know, the beaches definitely. And the picnicking.
Good. Now, Carrie, I see that you brought a visitor with you today.
I brought a couple guests.
Couple of guests. I see one.
A couple guests.
It's like a salamander.
Yes, we've brought a couple different salamanders with us today. Okay. The first one we have is a blue spotted salamander. They're kind of slow now because it's the off season, a little lethargic, but they're not in the hibernation mode. If you'll notice,
look at that sheen to them, though.
If you'll notice, they do have some blue on the sides.
Yeah.
On some, the blue is a little more pronounced in spots. This is one of many different species of salamander we have in Michigan. Very common through the Lower Peninsula. This one, as well as the redback, very, very common. We find them up in our area in Hubbard Lake. We find them behind the Nature Center.
Where do you find them?
Usually in areas that's not too far from moist areas. So maybe
I see you have them in that wet towel wrap. So I'm assuming he likes moist areas.
Well, it's actually keeps them because I'm going to be touching them. I don't want to be taken and because they have skin, no scales, and actually if you look, they're a little bit sticky. You know.
Yeah, I see that.
You know, very sensitive.
Oh yeah.
You find them in wooded areas. That's not too far from either marshy areas or saturated areas. The neat thing about these salamanders is when they lay their eggs, it's usually in a vernal pond. And for those of you that don't know what a vernal pond is, it's a pond that will get winter water. It'll have water all spring, early summer, and then usually by late summer it's drying up. So you don't have other creatures in there like maybe crayfish or fish that would eat up the eggs. Correct. So it's kind of neat that, you know, these animals have a little bit of a protective thing.
Well, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not. I know they're trying, but the blue sheen and when it turns,
and the sheen,
I mean, that is beautiful.
Very delicate creatures. Most everything in the woods will eat them. You know, they hide underneath, usually more nocturnal than daytime. We have another one.
So light.
Oh yeah, featherweight. Is our tiger salamander. He's the biggest salamander, whereas all of them are like an omnivore where they'll eat grubs and small little ants and insects and bacteria. This guy will eat anything he can catch in his mouth, including other salamanders.
Really?
Yeah, he's very voracious, you know.
Do you have to keep them away from each other?
They're in separate containers.
Okay.
Yep. They're not aggressive to men or nothing like that, or adults, you know.
What kind is this?
This is a tiger salamander.
Does it have teeth?
No.
Okay.
Our biggest Michigan salamander. Another interesting fact about salamanders is they're an awesome pollution barometer. Amphibians are that way. The fact that they absorb through their skin, if you have a lot of pollution from either fertilizer, pesticides, tile fields, things of that nature, they're not tolerant to that. You won't find them in that area. They're not there.
No kidding.
You know, so we do find these over by Holland Ponds. And for those of you that know, Holland Ponds has a history of being a recovered area that had contaminants, and we find these at Holland Ponds. So that tells you what a great job that the Corps of Engineers, DNR, did in cleaning up the Holland Ponds area.
What a great point.
You know?
You're finding them at Holland Ponds.
What's that tell you?
You know they've done a great job.
We have a heron reed there that we always have 2, sometimes 3 small herons per nest. Well, if they're eating these things and they're contaminated, they're going to have thin shells. They're not going to have a lot of young. We have a great heron reed that's very productive with young. So it's just another one of nature's little neat things.
It sure is. Now, speaking of the heron rookery, that sure seems to be thriving very well.
They've moved down towards the river. There are more nests than there were last year. It's a little more secluded down by the river, closer to a lot of the water areas and stuff. This is the 3rd time they've moved. So
does this thing, does it bite? I know you said it doesn't have teeth, but
no, it has a way of leaping at people. You know, no, it's not aggressive at all towards humans or things of that nature.
As far as you know, right?
Yes, unless you're a cricket, you're in pretty good shape, Joe. Right. You know, but very fragile. They look slippery, you know, only because I had them wet. But actually, they're actually.
It has a little stick to them.
They're very sticky. Yeah. So we make sure that if we get these out during any of our critter camps, the children must wash their hands. They can't have any lotion. They can't have any sunscreen, you know, things of that nature, or mosquito repellent. You know, you must have clean hands. I had to wash these tubs 2 or 3 times. I didn't know what was in them.
Right.
Made sure my hands was washed multiple times because I had lunch today, you know, and you don't know what kind of residuals could be on there. And, you know.
Now, will the heron rookery go after the salamanders?
Not so much the salamanders, because the salamanders usually in wooded areas underneath material, more nocturnal.
Can't get to them,
You know, whereas frogs and other things they will eat.
Okay.
What we found is one of the biggest predators to these is wild turkeys. They'll go in the woods and they'll be moving material, you know, and whatever they can uncover, they will eat.
Really?
Yeah, and with more turkeys in the area, unfortunately, it doesn't bode well for these little guys, you know. Hopefully, turkeys don't find them during the day because they do a good job of hiding. Sure. Nocturnally, it's not an issue.
Do you come across any wild turkeys at Riverbends Park?
Just today, we had another gang of about 5 or 6 of them. There was a young male, an older male, and 3 or 4 hens, you know, and went out the back door and did a little whistling, and they come running up there like I was the Pied Piper. So they're very common to see at the Nature Center, very common to see.
Well, good. This is pretty neat. So anyone wants to stop into the Nature Center can come on in and maybe even get them out and take a look at them.
For quite a few years, we had an overabundance of non-native species, only because they were easier to teach with and stuff. But last couple of years, we've downloaded our non-native species in humane, respectable ways of dispersing them to either areas where they are local to, out of state. I've taken many, so has Lauren, as well as giving them to responsible young adults, you know, for pets, putting them back into the circle, you know, and replace them with more native species where applicable.
Good.
So all neat.
Well, Carrie, there's some great stuff. Great information for us. I know our viewers will definitely enjoy all the facts that you have to give us what's going on in the parks and over at the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center. So
it's free to get in the park. It's free to get into the Nature Center. There's no reason why you shouldn't come in and enjoy it, you know.
Very good. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being on the show today. And we'll be right back after these messages with Shelby Township Parks and Rec in the news.
Historic Hope Chapel, built in the 1890s, is available for rent for weddings and other ceremonies beginning the first business day in September. Hope Chapel is fully heated and air-conditioned. Available amenities include podium and sound system, seating available for 80, 2 restrooms, party preparation room, And the Hope Chapel is fully accessible to handicapped visitors. For more information, please call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. With me now is Mike Adams, Supervisor of the Parks and Recreation Department. Mike, as you saw just our previous guest, Carrie Crozier. Carrie does a wonderful job at the Nature Center, a lot of great programs over there, I know from yourself and your family visiting over there.
Yep. Did you have fun with those skinks?
Skinks?
I think that's what they were.
Oh, I thought they were salamanders.
Oh, salamanders.
They were very interesting.
Yeah.
They had a nice texture to them. Something I wouldn't go pick up in the wild, but since Carrie was handling them,
but you're opening up your horizons a little bit.
Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Good.
Now, Mike, I know recently at Riverbends Park, which is down the road from the Nature Center, we have the sledding hill and all the snow we've had recently. And I know you've had some calls about it when you and your family experienced it over there. So, nice hill over there.
It is. We went up this past weekend. Dozens and dozens of people using the hill. A couple different slopes, I guess, if you want to say, heights and levels, and looked like everybody was having a great time. I'm still sore from my couple hours down there, but definitely getting heavily used, and it looks like the cold weather is going to hold out, so it looks like it's going to be there a while.
Definitely. But on that note, we know spring is right around the corner.
We hope.
A lot of people, we hope.
Yes.
A lot of people are wishing for that.
Yes.
And I know the groundhog did not see his...
Did not see a shadow.
Right. So is that 6 more weeks?
6 more weeks.
For winter. We have ice on the lakes right now. With that being said, we have boater safety coming up. How can somebody go about registering for boater safety?
Sure. The best thing for them to call our office, 731-0300, and we can give them the information on that. This is a 2-day class. A lot of people are not sure because there's 2 dates listed in our newsletter. It is a 2-day class. They must attend both days.
Oh, you have to attend both. Okay.
So it's March 21st and 28th. We still have a lot of room left in there, so if they want to get ready and make sure they know the laws on the water, this is the best
class. So
class.
it'll be 2 consecutive Saturdays.
Correct, the 21st and 28th of March.
And where will this be held at?
This will be actually held in the township boardroom, right by the police station, in the township offices.
And what is the cost for the boater safety?
The cost is $15, I believe, and it's all in our newsletter.
Perfect. And
they can also get that information online as well as any of our other activities.
Very good. And boater safety, Mike, I know you're a boater and very familiar with Lac St. Clair.
Yeah.
And
good French pronunciation.
Good
job.
Thank you. What is, obviously boater safety is self-explanatory, but from yourself being a boater, what are the nice things and about going to a boater safety class that you and your family will gain with you throughout the summer?
Well, I think a lot of people are so accustomed to laws and etiquette on the road. On the lake, it's totally different. And there's a lot of things that people know about, especially with the safety precautions, with life preservers, fire extinguishers, all these things that should be on a boat, as well as, like I said, some of the etiquette and when should you stop for another boat, when can you go in front of another boat. Lake St. Clair's busy. It's very popular, like you said. When you get funneled into some of the rivers, like the Detroit River, that's less space for more boats. And people just really need to know what to do. It's very dangerous, obviously. Someone's in a 40-foot boat versus me in my 16 or 17-foot boat. At high speeds, a lot of different things can happen.
Well, this sounds, for anyone that's a boater, it sounds like it's a must to attend this class.
It should be, and certain age groups are not required to attend this, but we feel everyone should if they're going to be operating any type of boat. So
very good. And a lot of these items, activities, events that we talk about here are on our Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Facebook page. So go on in there, give us a like, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with the amount of information that you'll be receiving from our Facebook page. And also, speaking of receiving information, we have our News Worth Knowing. If we can get a shot of this here. This is our newsletter that will be going out very soon, probably in the next week and a half, Mike.
Yeah,
I'd
next
say.
week or so. Yeah.
So let's make sure we can get a shot of it. We got a beautiful picture here of the garden at the Nature Center, and we'd like to thank the gardeners for taking care of this. They do a wonderful job. Diane Grantham and all the volunteers do an amazing job over there. So this will be coming out, and also, Mike, we have with the newsletter coming out 3 times a year, this is the winter spring edition. So this is coming out now. It's going to catch some of the tail end of the winter programs, and then also the spring coming up soon. So if we kind of flip through this, just want to cover it, highlight some of the activities that you will see in our newsletter here. Mike, one of the first items we talk about is rentals, and that's another item that's posted on our website, Facebook page. But we have the Hope Chapel Church, which is becoming amazingly popular.
Yes, it is.
And the people come in, it's for non-resident $435, for residents $335 to rent the Hope Chapel Church. What are the nice features, and what is the draw that brings the amount of people that we're getting in for their weddings?
It's just a beautiful setting. It's designed for a smaller type wedding, which we're seeing a vast increase in. And so people are wanting a smaller, as opposed to a huge avenue where there's hundreds and hundreds of people. These smaller weddings seem to become a lot more popular. Chapel's just beautiful inside. We're booked. We have 3 to 4 weddings every weekend in there, and I think people like the nostalgia of that old chapel that has been moved to the township grounds, and it seems just everyone just seems to love it. The decor in there is simple, but yet, like I said, nostalgic, and people just love the story of the chapel. It seems like. Yeah,
a lot of history, and then they can have their wedding and head right over to the down to the gardens, Heritage Gardens, and get their wedding pictures taken there.
And that seems a big trend too. Is in years past, people were either unaware or didn't do that. Now almost everyone is booking that chapel and going right down there and booking the gardens as well. Just for obviously you can get pictures in the chapel, and everyone does that. That's beautiful. But the garden is just a whole nother area where you can do pictures. Is beautiful down there.
Very good. Also, we have the Mother and Son Dance coming up at Cherry Creek Golf Course. Some of the other items that we have in here: the Easter Bunny Lunch. That's Saturday, March 28th, the Easter Bunny Scramble. That's an activity that's been going on for over 30 years now. That's at Riverbends Park. You can give us a call at 731-0300 for more information. And we'd like to thank for the Scramble Genesis Credit Union for being a wonderful sponsor to make this a free event. And also the Shelby Macomb Kiwanis Daybreakers. Appreciate all the monies that they volunteer and the help the day of the event. And also for the Easter Bunny Lunch, we have Henry Ford Health System. Thank you for their generosity and sponsorship for that event. Also, we can touch on, and I think it's just getting everyone excited for the spring and summer, we have the free summer concert series once again on the township grounds. So you can check out the website, and it'll be in the newsletter for the different acts that we have coming up. We're very excited about those. So those are nice things to know, Mike, when you start seeing these spring, summer activities. And you know, spring is right around the corner. Now, with that being said, we do have a lot of winter activities here. We have the ice skating pond, and it's been a wonderful year for the ice skating rink at Mace Decker Park.
Weather's cooperated this year for sure.
And I just want to point out the Monday through Friday, the lights are on. Saturday and Sunday, the lights will not be on. So just so people are aware that we don't have staff in the evening on Saturday and Sunday to turn the lights on. So enjoy it during the week if you'd like with the lights on. Saturday and Sunday, just during the day, you can skate there. Also, we have the Gene Shepherd Park sledding hill. And as Mike had talked about earlier, the Riverbends sledding hill over at Woodall Community Park by the Patriots soccer field. Mike, we also have ongoing right now, we touched on before, is the Little League Baseball registration. At this time, if somebody's looking to register for Little League Baseball, what should they do?
Yeah, our advertised date for registration has officially ended, but we're still backfilling some leagues, and we can do so until they're full. So, of course, we don't know when that will be, so if anyone's interested in Little League, at this time we still have room in all the divisions, but some only have a few spots, so they should probably give us a call in the next few days or a week. We'll give them the information on the league. Like I said, everything's still open at this point, but before you know it, it's going to be close to starting time, and leagues will start to fill up.
Good. And Mike, at Riverbends Park, I know we talked about before, we have the over almost 8 miles, actually almost 8 miles of mountain bike trails. During the winter, and this is a newer trend that I understand probably the last couple of years, they have the fat tire bikes.
Yeah, they're really cool.
It's amazing. Yeah. And we had the Trail Groom last Saturday. There was an event there, CRAMBA, which is the Mountain Bike Association that we deal with, that built these trails, and we assist with the maintenance there. So they had this nice big event, and we got some footage here to see. Yeah. And it is amazing the concept of how well these bicycles can ride on snow. But we had the trail groomed, and let's take a look at some of the footage here. As you can see from the footage, we'd like to thank Steve Venue from the CRAMB Association for, Mike, I believe that would be his GoPro, which is kind of new to me, but it looks like it was hit on his helmet. And you get an idea how great the trail is, and it's groomed for the fat bike tires. What a great event, you know, because a lot of times in the winter in Michigan, you can't be as active. But now with this new recreational opportunity, it looks like a blast.
Yeah, and I saw some people going up and down Van Dyke even in the snow with those bikes.
Oh, really?
Down the sidewalks. So they're definitely gaining in popularity, and we always like to try to help people out if we know there's a need there and it's being popular. So
apparently they have some very nice traction on these tires.
Yeah, they must. I've never been on one myself, but I know the tires are about that wide, and it looks like a little truck rolling down there. They're really cool, and it is gaining in popularity for sure. And
that's the other thing is people definitely love their mountain bike. Talking to a lot of people who are starting to discover the trails at Riverbends Park. So if you'd like to stop in our Parks and Rec office, we do have a map of the trail system. Once again, thanks to Steve Venue and CRAMB for all they've done with the trails and putting the maps together. So give us a call or stop by Parks and Rec for that. And for that matter, any other events or programs you have questions about, please give us a call, shoot us an email. Don't forget to like our Facebook page. We'd love to see you on there. And please remember, here at Shelby Parks and Rec, we create community through people, parks, and programs. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in one of our parks soon.